Hi, my name is Ashish Bhatia. Welcome back to my show. It's been really amazing, really amazing with the amount of response I've got from everyone who've been watching my videos. And I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone. And that's why I keep coming back every day with new recipes. Right, what do we have today? Something really simple. Would you have imagined that something really simple like an egg would be converted into something so amazing? Right, I'll show you this recipe and I'm sure you're going to love it. Now there's a slight history to this recipe. When I was a child and when we used to have Christmas vacations, my parents used to take me to my uncle's house, and this is where I had this egg recipe there, and trust me, I've never had anything better than this. So this recipe is dedicated in his memory, right? So let's start with the ingredients today. Right, what I've done here is I've separated 5 eggs, egg white and egg yolk. Right, I've got some seasoning as usual, salt and pepper. I've got some cheese, some cooking oil, some balsamic vinegar, some cherry tomatoes here. I've got some button mushrooms here, some butter. So let's start cooking. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the egg whites in here. Now, remember, the bowl has to be absolutely clean. And I'm going to whip this egg white. Right, here we go. Yes. I'm going to whip this till it reaches a soft, deep consistency. I'll show you what I mean by soft, deep very soon. This is going to take a couple of minutes. Really getting there. You don't want to whip the egg white too much, just a little bit. We'll do it a little bit more. Right, this is the stage we need to reach. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these egg yolks here and I'm going to quickly whip them as well. Alright, here we go. And as I said, this is a very simple recipe, but it's so tasty. It's so tasty, you won't believe it. And it's absolutely simple. It just takes literally minutes to make this. And of course, as I always say, all ingredients you can get in your dry store, in your fridge. There's something called balsamic vinegar. You can always buy a good balsamic vinegar from your local store. There you go. That's all done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this in this. Right, there we go. That's it. It's all done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some seasoning to this. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. That's it. Just a pinch more. Feel it needs. A little bit of pepper. There we go. That's it. And now we're going to fold in the egg yolk into the egg white. Right, very slowly. Right. That's it. Just carefully fold it in. Right, working its way inward. It's just a simple cut and fold method. Right, that's it. You still want to make sure that there's enough air in it, otherwise it's going to break down. You need to be this dish is very light, it just melts in your mouth. Right, I think that looks nice and good. So nicely whipped up. nicely folded. So the egg yolks have been incorporated inside the egg white. Right. That's it. Yes, that's all done. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to heat up the pan quickly. Right. Oh, that's all looking good. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to heat the pan. I've got a pan here. I'm going to take some butter and some oil. So I'm going to add the oil, the cooking oil first. Alright. You add the oil first so that the butter does not burn. I don't want the butter to burn. So I'm going to add this oil there. And then I'm going to add the butter. That's it. And now I'm going to add the butter. There goes the butter. Now the butter gives a lot of flavor, so you have to make sure that the butter is in good quantity. Alright, that's it. Right, now I'll let the butter melt. I'm going to, there's my spatula. Now you see the butter is melting slowly. Alright, it's starting to bubble. I'm going to increase the heat a little bit and make sure the pan is nice and hot before I put the eggs in. That's all done. The butter is evenly melted. Good. The pan is nice and hot. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to lower this here. To make sure the pan is absolutely hot, otherwise the eggs are going to disintegrate. Right. Now that looks absolutely perfect to me. Right, it's nice hot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that mixture into this pan. Right? Right, here we go now. Alright? Now this egg is going to go in here. Here we go. That's it. Now that mixture has gone in. Alright? I'm just going to slightly, that's what I'm going to do. It's just going to spread it around so it spreads evenly. Right, go. Now that's all. Should be a nice round shape that I'm looking for. Right. Now you see the eggs already started settling. The proteins in the egg have started cooking. Right. Now what I'm going to do is, now this is all done. I'm going to cover this pan and I'm going to let it cook in its own steam. Alright? It's all done. But before I do that, I'm going to just heat up the gas a little bit before I lower it again. I'm going to add some cheese to it. Alright? A good helping of cheese. And I love cheese. And this used to be the best part of this egg. This cheese. Oh my god. You can't believe how tasty this is going to be. Alright, here we go. That's the cheese all in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this pan. Alright. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit now. And I'm going to cover this. Alright, just be careful because the pan is hot and you don't want to burn your fingers. Alright? So you want to make sure that it's covered evenly. Alright. I'll just get a plate and I'll just put it on this. It's done. I'll just put this on this. Pretty much done. Yeah. You could use a lid. I don't have exactly a lid at the moment handy, so I'm just using this. Right. Now let it just cook slowly in its own steam. In the meantime, I'll prepare the side for this. Right. So what I'm going to do is heat up the pan here. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of cooking oil and a little bit of butter here. Right. Now this is slightly my twist that I'm trying to put in this. Right. And you'll watch. It goes really well with this. I tried it the other day. It really went well. Right. The pan is absolutely hot now. I'm going to add the oil. Again, same method. Oil first and then butter. Right. Again. Here goes the oil. That's it. And the butter. There goes the butter. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the heat and let this all melt. There. Looks good. The butter is melting in there. The pan is nice and hot, the butter is sizzling. Now I'm going to add mushrooms to it. Now these button mushrooms, I'm going to put them whole. I think they look, you get the texture when you put them whole. And don't worry, the mushroom don't take too long to cook. Right, there they go. Alright. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some cherry tomatoes in there. Right, I've taken the whole cherry tomatoes. I think that, in terms of garnish, it looks really beautiful. So, probably I'll use this one. And I'll just let them cook as well there, in there. Right, there we go. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of seasoning here as well, just a touch, not too much, just to bring out the flavors. Right, that's it. A little bit of pepper. There you go. And just let it cook. Now, this egg is going to take literally a couple of minutes more, and in the meantime, the mushrooms are going to cook. Alright, there we go. Look at the beautiful color there. Isn't that gorgeous? The butter is going to give that nutty flavor, to the mushrooms. The mushrooms are already, they're rustic. So, and I love rustic dishes. Look at that, beautiful colors. Now to finish this off, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just increase the heat a little bit here, and I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar. Now this gives that slight sourness. Look at that. Just a little bit, and you need a good balsamic vinegar that will do the job. Alright, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, now I'm going to reduce the heat slightly and let it glaze. Alright, let it cook there. Alright. Going to let it cook slightly from inside. That's all done. Now I'm just waiting for this, and I think more or less it should be done. Let's have a look. Let's see if it looks good or not. Oh yeah. Now look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that amazing? Now that egg has been cooked right through, and you don't want to cook it too much. You want it to be light, and it's got the shape. Look at that, how beautiful that is. And trust me, there is nothing better than this dish, nothing. Whenever I eat this, it reminds me of Christmas, because we always used to have it at its place, and when we used to, as I said, when we used to go for the Christmas vacations to his place, that's where we used to have this. So every time I eat this, I think it's Christmas. Everyone would love to think so, right? So our mushrooms are done as well. There, they're nicely glazed, right? Now what I'm going to do is, there's a trick here. I would remove the pan off the heat and let the egg settle down a little bit, right, before we do anything with it, because it's still very hot, and I don't want the egg to break, right? So I'm just going to let it sit a little bit before we move it. Look, isn't that beautiful? Absolutely amazing. Now there's different ways you could serve this. You could actually have that egg actually, fold it, right? Or you could cut it, right? So I'll try the thing. Look at that. Just move through. I'm going to cut this. Alright. There you go. I'm going to cut it into 4. It's quite a big. Now, okay. Here we go. Now we're going to start plating it. Right? I'm going to take this out of the egg here. Right? Slide it here. Right? Here we go. Right. Now we start plating. Let's get this out of the way. Get everything out of the way. I'll bring this plate from here. Right. As usual, a little bit of blue roll. Alright, look at that. It smells amazing. The cheese, I tell you, is just... I mean, I wish you could smell this dish, but I'm sure once you try this and you make it at home, you're always going to love it. Alright. Now, we're going to get some mushrooms here. Alright. We'll put some mushrooms. Look at that, mushrooms. And I'm sure they go really well with this dish there. I'm going to put all the spoons in there. It's never more. It's never more. Trust me. And then finally, these gorgeous chili tomatoes. Look at that. So here we have an egg souffle omelette, as I would call it, cooked with cheese and with balsamic mushrooms and glazed balsamic cherry tomatoes. Please try this dish at home. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than this. There is absolutely nothing better than this. This is one of my favorite dishes. And when you try this at home, you're going to love it. And if you like this dish, please do go on my video and do like the video. Thank you very much. See you soon again.